Libra, hope you're well. I haven't been around for a while. I'm sorry for that. But I'm here now to do the rest of June for you. We're going to jump right in. We're going to draw out of this particular tarot some overarching energy for the rest of the month for you. You get 2 cards, but I don't see them yet. 3. The 6 of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the 7 of Cups. Okay. It's funny because you have the Ace of Wands just beside the 7 of Cups, and like the Ace of Wands is something so sure, so direct and intentional, right? Alongside the 7 of Cups, which is confusion or illusions and wishy-washiness and all the gray zones, right? Not the black and white. So it's funny that both are like side by side. I'm not too sure what that really means for you until we draw more cards, right? Until I really get my bearings for you. But you do have the 6 of Swords, so as a first card out, so it points to me that you're moving away, or you're going somewhere, you're moving along, or going towards. I'm not sure how to word it because, again, I don't have the rest of the cards to show me if you're moving from something, going towards something. I guess both. You can see it always as, no matter what you move towards, maybe you were definitely leaving something in the past behind, right? Either way, the moving on has been sparked by something that you really are interested about. You're dying of curiosity to explore this, and this is what matters here. And maybe, funnily, there's one thing that attracted you, but for some reason, as you discover more about it, it sort of opens up other possibilities or new fields of interest, or basically it's one of those, you open something and it's whatever field it is, or subject or topic, etc., it becomes much more complex and maybe much more rich than you even thought at first. Let's get a keyword or 2 or 3 maybe. At least one. Let's see what this is really talking about, Libra. Like, are we looking at your career, your relationships, your family? Extraordinary. Okay, it feels important because obviously I'm gonna associate extraordinary with this Ace of Wands, this thing that I said you're dying of curiosity for it. I think there's something extremely that moves you, that really, really moves you. And I was debating whether are you really going towards something, or are you just leaving something else? Like, what was the real direction of the motion? But this is a real pull. You're being pulled in. So let's look at more tarot. What's really pulling you in? Okay, there's a little booklet that came out. Let's look at that. It's going to be interesting. Okay, Devil in reverse is the first card. The 9 of Cups in reverse. The Page of Rods. The 3 of Wands. The Wheel of Fortune. And the Queen of Wands. So many wands. it's incredible. You're really moving away from something. You're releasing something that doesn't give you any more joy, that doesn't provide any more happiness for you. And I don't feel it's a relationship per se. You know what I mean? It involves people, yes, of course. It involves feelings for those people, yes. It involves your well-being, yes. And their well-being, yes. But I feel that overall, it's the context of these relationships that you're really choosing to move away from. So it's like saying moving away from the environment, or the environment could be a project, which is the common denominator for these people, right? So it doesn't have to be a place, but it's along those lines of an environment where you would be doing certain tasks in a certain way. I think that's important here. It feels like you would have had popularity in the past performing this. It feels you would have had a lot of pleasure, derived a lot of pleasure doing it. So I think that people would have perceived you to be really good at it. And I think that made you popular. Or at least it put you in, quote unquote, in the public's eye, or at least made you noticeable. Okay? Hence also the word extraordinary. Something stands out when you love this thing, when you move towards this thing, when you perform this thing. I think even out of the things you're moving away from, whatever you've released that didn't bring you any more joy, there's something that you were doing that put you in the spotlight or on the spot. And then you shift, well, first of all, the wheel shifts everything, right? The Wheel of Fortune is here and she's surrounded by wands. So there's, for some reason, this movement forward, whatever has actually triggered it, because we don't really see the trigger except for that pull. It's not like someone pushed that wheel, someone pulled that wheel. And it's the desire that you have, the Ace of Wands, that is so strong, so extraordinary. This definitely something that you love, 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 love. It's something, the Ace of Wands is like irrepressible, right? It's something, it's like you have like this hunger inside of you. And we see this Page of Rods as like the ignition for it, just as the same sort of spark. The enthusiasm for something. The Three of Wands is showing me that you're eager for it. And I think the page would have been some form of announcement for it, like some kind of, you would have gotten some either signs or news, or maybe someone would have given you a little bit of info, made you privy to some info about something that you're about to do, something that is very new, something super exciting that you desire more than anything. And we also see this Queen. So I don't know if the Queen, just like the Page, is someone else around you that is basically giving you the information, sort of putting you on in the right direction, on the right path for this. Maybe they're the ones that initiated you, because we have the spark and an ignition energy, right? So you're being initiated to something, into something. So this Queen could be you. It doesn't have to be you. It could be Libra, that again, someone very warm, caring, is okay. It feels like someone supportive. It does. But it also feels like this. It feels like what I was describing at the beginning, right? This Ace of Rods is in the hands of the Page. Okay? Sorry for the glare here. So this is the spark, this is the new thing, this is the new information, this is the desire. But it's also you on that journey at the beginning of it, right? So I think that you already were good at something. Like I said, I think you really were already known for what you did or how you did it. But I also feel that once it opens up, remember I told you this one particular thing, once you discover more about it, it ends up being like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that there was all of this to learn, right? That there was all of this, all of these aspects to this domain or this thing or whatever subject. And so it's the same idea. It's like from being a page into a queen, moving from, oh, you thought there was only this, and then when you realize that there's so much more to it, it opens up like this beautiful sunflower here. And the sunflower is a huge flower. So I think it's a really good analogy here, because the Seven of Cups is really like, there's a multitude of things. And there's a multitude of talents and skills that you actually need now. And it's funny because as much as you're extraordinary, or you are, or this thing is extraordinary, and I feel that you probably master that one aspect in the most extraordinary way. But I feel that once you master more, and once you find out more, that will also be extraordinary. And I think the wheel is fueling that. I think, the Six of Swords and the wheel are really movement forward. I guess what I'm sensing is the fact that it's almost pushing you now. So as much as I said you had a pull for this new interest, behind the scenes, the wheel and the Six of Swords, they're pushing at the same time. It's funny. So it's both actions, right? It's a pushing and a pulling. I don't know if you understand why I take the time to mention this. I guess I'm emphasizing the fact that the movement is double. As much as you were releasing something and moving from something you knew that was comfortable, you were good at, etc., but you just didn't have any more joy for. But as much as you're moving away from that, so you're being pulled because you have a new interest and it's something new that you're discovering that's going to end up being so much more, and you just don't know yet, except for this reading, you're also being pulled in and pushed. And that's more significant than just when it's only in one direction, right? It's like, imagine it's two forces, one that's pushing, one that's pulling. I wonder what it means in terms of intensity, speed, comfort for you, adaptation, learning curve, etc. But it feels really steep, because I think this wheel is, especially the wheel is always big. It's always big. It's like, how do you call them in the fairs? Is it called like a big wheel? In French we say la grande roue. Anyways, just to say it's big. It's a big life change. It's extraordinary. That word wouldn't have come out. It wouldn't have come out for nothing. You get a yes. Yes. Extraordinary yes. It's beautiful. Last card, Whispering Woods. I can't say it. Whispering Woods. some guidance. It's a resounding yes, though. What do you have? Humility. I like that. I do. It reads, flowers are unaware of each other's beauty. They bloom regardless. You know what I love about that? Is that you just don't know how extraordinary you are, really. I mean, you probably know that you're good at something and you feel that you might have something, a little something, but I think this reading is showing you that you have a skill that can actually explode into okay, it feels two things. It feels like the skill can actually split and like be useful in many ways, and it could also mean that the skill is sort of like you're able to multiply it. I'm not sure how, because I don't really know the nature of it. Trying to work on a more general message, right? So I don't want to be specifying anything, so I'm not pulling examples. And so the other thing is, like, if the skill becomes many different things, it's like saying also the skill enables you to derive many streams of revenue. It could be a little bit like that. But I'm more attached to the skill itself. I think that you're going to discover that you're more skilled than you actually are, is what I'm really saying. And so you just don't know it. I don't think you realize. That's pretty intense, Libra. And it feels like you blossom really, really beautifully. Maybe the last caution, like the last words would be a little bit of a word of caution here about not being scattered as you try, as this new thing opens up in many different avenues and you see the potentialities. Just don't scatter yourself, I guess. Maybe take one thing at a time, because it is the Seven of Cups. But you are getting a resounding yes to try it out and explore. Enjoy yourself. So please like the video on your way out. That'd be super appreciated. Of course, you can subscribe to the channel if you haven't, but mostly come back. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye, Libra.